Okay, so when is your next? Okay. Oh,
Finding
imagine.
questions.
You said what?
Finding questions, I see.
Finding questions.
Yeah,
I
that,
mean,
that sounds like your thinking process right now.
no, I just was thinking like, okay, are we live? Do I introduce you now, or do I like introduce you when somebody comes in?
I mean, do you basically upload your live after
Oh
you're
yeah,
done?
it's going straight up.
Okay, well, I would say do it now.
All right. Hey guys, welcome back. This ain't my podcast. This ain't $2 no more. But I am here with Harold. I know sometimes y'all hear me talk about him on the channel. Hey Khadijah, what's up? This is my good friend Harry. We've known each other. We've probably known each other since 2019 when we were trying to immature Australia. That's the first. We didn't meet through them, but it's funny how we met and then talked about them or whatever. But 3 years later, here we are, and shoot, we both going through a lot in our love lives, to be honest.
I'm going through constantly finding young women who love to make me pay the price for their exes instead of just treating me like the new man. But, I call it Scott Pilgrim syndrome. I gotta fight some evil exes before I even get my little piece of Ramona.
Now, what is a Scott Pilgrim syndrome? You be saying all kind of shit. I don't even know.
You never seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Is that a movie?
Yes, it is.
I don't be watching movies. Like I gotta catch up.
Okay. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is a movie based on a video game of the same premise. Scott is basically a bass player in I would guess you would say a garage band, and he ends up meeting a young lady who he's just super duper enthralled with. Name is Ramona. Changes her hair like the fucking days of the week, and when he starts seriously getting involved with her, one day he just gets a note basically from one of her exes basically filling them in like, yeah, seeing as how Ramona has basically captured our hearts, you have to fight for her, all this other good stuff. It's 70s evil exes, one of them's a girl, and then come to find out the one that he fights at the end is basically the reason why he's fighting all of them, because he's basically obsessed with her, all this other good stuff. Now, mind you, in the movie, it goes a tad bit different than the game, but seeing as I haven't played it, I'll just stick with the movie version. Long story short, Ramona is also stuck on the last boyfriend because it's one of those play on, oh, this is probably what happens in real life, but let's make it really comedic and fantastical. So when I say Scott Pilgrim syndrome, what I'm saying is 9 times out of 10, and just to make it a relatable thing to guys in my caliber bracket, we end up paying for what the exes did when we have no intentions of doing what they did or even repeating it. So basically, long story short, I have to make up for his mistakes.
Oh no. See, and this is what I was telling you. That's why I feel like you need a more mature woman. Two, somebody's that's not gonna make you go through those things, because before you get one, you gotta evaluate when you meet the guy. Are you picking the same type of guy?
This is why I always ask a young lady, am I your usual type? Because if I notice your boyfriends are nothing like me or past boyfriends are nothing like me, I usually just hit skip.
I don't know if I have a type.
No, everybody has a type.
Well, what's my type? I mean, you've only known me with him. Because you've known me the past 3 years I've been with me. I'll just show you some of my exes. Do you know what my baby daddy looks like?
Hell no. The majority of my exes are light-skinned, big-titted, and quite honestly, quite striking. But at the same time, they all carry that one.
So you need to get off the light skins then.
No, I've dated some dark-skinned women as well, but a majority of my exes are light-skinned.
Why don't you go outside of like other races?
To be
And who you
honest,
texting now?
this is the young lady who I was telling you about when we went to lunch the other day.
Oh, okay. Okay, she.
I know. My homeboy also gave her the Caesar thumbs down. My whole thing about it is, seeing as how I'm just gonna go ahead and use what a lot of young women are using as, well, why would I get close to you if you're just about to leave? Well, I'm guessing you don't understand what long-term investment means. And I understand.
Okay, so you going off. Can I say it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you're gonna go off to the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
How long are you gonna be gone? So like, you're dating somebody, you can't see them. How long is this boot camp? It's only 8 weeks, right?
No, boot camp is usually 3 months, and then I'm going to officer school. I'm basically gonna be gone for a whole half year. But
Okay, so 6 months.
yeah, but my whole thing about it is this: if you see something working out with me, let's just create this fantastical image right here.
Okay.
If you see something working out with me, if you actually, I guess you could say, would choose me as a first option, and
That's your first question. That's your problem. You need to make sure these women are choosing you as a first option, and you're not their backup, because we gotta get that through your noggin now.
it's first option, and you quite honestly, this is a tricky one because everyone has an insecurity that they try to get over. But if you could see yourself swallowing your pride and just being like, you know what? I don't need attention from other people. I'm good with just being this guy.
Because you're saying you go off and you're doing your thing in your officer camp and boot camp and all this, and they out here trying to find somebody else. But what about the women?
Hey, man.
What about if you had to go do a bid? Like, what if you had to go to jail? You're gonna be gone a few years. Them hoes really, you're not going to jail. But I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, like these guys that go to jail, their women hold them down.
Yeah, because
What's the longest you think you can hold somebody down for? Because if they can't hold you down for 3 months, they're not your forever person.
Mm-hmm.
They should be able to wait, especially when you're doing something
Okay, so
productive.
Lord forbid, not going to prison.
Okay, you ain't going to prison. You're not
Those women and those men are a very particular type of person whenever it comes to so-called jail and all that other good stuff, because you witnessed those women. Like Ja Rule went to jail, came back home gay as hell, and just shocked his wife to have her left. And just thinking about it is crazy.
I had an ex one time tell me that if they ever had to go to jail, they're gonna go in trying to fuck someone. Oh, we can curse for after a minute. Going trying to fuck someone purposely because they're not gonna be the bitch. he was also he could suck his own stuff too, and I thought that was just I thought that was crazy.
The conversation has escalated.
You look, let me tell you something. On Paisley Hayes YouTube, you never know where the conversation is gonna go.
I was going to say, in my particular situation, if you could see yourself being with me until forever, I'm not necessarily just going to be playing the field forever. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, fuck marriage. Where I am right now, quite honestly, with me being 28, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, once I hit my financial stride, once I have my foundation under me, once I'm well off into my career, I'm not going to be sitting here trying to date this woman, that woman, whatever. Quite honestly.
You want to settle down.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, the word settle has been necessarily... I'm trying to think of the correct way or the correct word to describe what settle has been made. Settle. The word settle has been bastardized because a lot of people want to say, "Oh, I'm settling for them." No, you're getting what you deserve. Your past dating history, your scorecard, your report card on how you treat people and everything else, you usually end up finding your perfect match. And a lot of times people don't like their perfect match because they feel as if they deserve something better. No, you deserve what you work for.
Yeah, people don't be wanting to work. Okay, so I'll say this. I don't feel like a relationship should be work. I feel like it should come easily. No, I do. You're gonna argue. You're gonna have your little disagreements. Cool, we understand that. But I don't feel like it should be work. I feel like it should be very organic. It should be natural. It should just flow. it shouldn't be work. I don't want to think about my relationship as work.
As much as everyone says that, you have a responsibility toward one another. You have a responsibility toward one another. And responsibilities are basically work in a sense. Even if you're so-called not getting paid in fiat currency or whatever. Like, just for example, friendships. Not a lot of people see hanging out as punching the clock for your friendship because it's something that you enjoy to do.
But it is. Okay, so for instance, like the other day when we hung out, I was working, but we made time to go hang out. You gotta make time.
No, I'm not. I believe what you're saying is like, oh, my physical work, I took a break. No. Us hanging out can be a one-to-one comparison to putting time in on the clock at a job. Why? Because you're working on that relationship. You're building it. You're basically making sure the foundation of what you built up as your friendship stays together. Nobody just moves into a house and doesn't, take care of the walls, the doors, and all that other good stuff. Now, there are people who are like that, and their houses look like crap. But if you actually care for what you are living in, you're going to do a whole lot more than the normal person is just shown on TV. Of course, you're going to vacuum. Of course, you're going to literally go up the wall and start cleaning stuff, pressure wash the freaking ground outside to make things look nice. Like my neighbor next door, quite honestly, the man keeps an immaculate house because from the moment he moved in, he was taking care of it. If I can describe people's friendships, a lot of time people just move into the building and just trash it and then just expect people to just stay.
So how do you work on your friendships? Or what kind of work do you need to put into a friendship?
Well, just using myself as an example, my male friendships are easy to maintain compared to my few and far in between female friendships.
Why is that?
Well,
because I find it easier to have friendships with guys over girls.
Because you're a very sociable person. I'm not saying it's necessarily hard, but I will say this. It's a very dishonest thing to have a bunch of female friends. And then, in my case, I came to the realization, just being mature about it and basically saying, I'm a friend. I'm just waiting for my turn to put my penis in.
So do you do that with every female friend?
No, my few female friends that I still have, it's not like that at all. We're legitimately friends. The overabundance of female friends that I used to have, oh, absolutely. Sooner or later, it was going down. Because, as a male term being thrown into the conversation, I don't see myself as an orbiter. I'm not going to... What was that? Because...
Live chat?
Yeah, it was a live chat. Because men have a harder time with emotional intelligence and deeply connecting with the opposite sex. No, it's not that at all. I believe emotional intelligence is what people like to give a fancy word for common sense. Or just common decency. Because a lot of times whenever I ask somebody to describe emotional intelligence, they give me 50 million different definitions. And it's like, okay, if we're going to use this word so much, we need to have a base understanding of what you're trying to say when it is. Because how can it be measured? Because if it's so-called emotional intelligence, I think you could just say one word and call it empathy. If you can put yourself in the shoes of another person, I think that's more so-called emotionally intelligent than anything else.
Do you show, I had this question when I was on cam yesterday. Do you show empathy to everybody? Because I'm not going to lie, I only show empathy to people I care about or people in poverty. But the rest of the world,
Empathy can be for everybody, but sympathy can be for a select few. Empathy is basically you not being a fucking sociopath and just being a cold, heartless person. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, hey man, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, get your shit together.
How you do that? Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And so sympathy?
Sympathy is just basically either feeling sorry for a person or just outright being like, you know what, I'm happy for you, or things of that nature. Like saying how you can see somebody accomplish a goal and it overwhelm them with emotion is like, you know what, I'm happy that you got that too. Because it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I can relate. I see why you feel that way. That still walks hand in hand with empathy, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, a better example, because I feel like I'm starting to ramble.
Sympathy is I feel for you. Empathy is I'm sad because you're sad.
Okay, better. Thank you, Emily. There you go.
But that goes back to my thing. I can have sympathy for everybody, but empathy is more for my friends, or like people like in poverty. For me, I'm only gonna like, for instance, if you are not my friend, you're just an associate. Like, say you're just. Well,
I just know you. I just know you. Like that's literally what associates are. They just know you.
Yeah, okay, so, but because I care about you, like when you be going, like for instance, when you say your friend, you know, we want to talk about that?
By all means, go ahead.
Okay, so it's not a funny situation, I'm just silly. But pretty much, one of his friends jumped and committed suicide the other day, jumped off the 17th floor. I think I talked about it on the live with you guys, I don't know if I deleted it or not. And you know, like I really felt like your sadness, especially when like I got in the car with you. I'm just like, dang, you know. But if you were just an associate, I'd just be like, oh, okay, sorry for loss, and keep it pushing. But I cared enough to sit there and listen to you vent about it and talk about it or whatever the case is. I'm not doing that for everybody.
Understandable, because at the end of the day, you have close friends. You have friends. No, you have family. You have close friends, and then you have associates.
But I'm so sorry, but not everybody puts their family first.
I wasn't necessarily.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't necessarily putting it first. I was putting it more like in boxes, like.
Okay, so you got your family, your close friends,
and then your associates.
Okay.
Because you'll end up having more associates than you would people who you consider family.
Okay.
It's more like priority boxes, not necessarily saying first or last. This is just some Ricky Bobby stuff. But yeah, it took me by surprise because I had to find out through a fucking Instagram story. And mind you, the last time I spoke to him was December 7th.
So you at least spoken to him recently?
Yeah.
What did they say? I wish we could be on my computer. I think family doesn't have to be blood, and blood relatives aren't always family.
That wasn't what I was referring to.
Oh, that's what I was.
Of course. What I was saying was more people you consider your family.
Okay.
Yeah. In consideration, this person who I didn't spend not one day in a diaper with, I consider a brother. Like, my male best friends who I've known for over a decade, I consider them brothers because we refer to each other as such. Yeah. Yeah.
R.I.P. I only met him once.
It's all good. He was a very infectious soul, and to see so many people broken up over it means he was truly loved. So it just, like how my homie and me said, what was eating you up so much to where you felt like you couldn't reach out? Because there was many of us who were talking about it in a circle, and we were like, we saw it. Some of the people who I spoke to were like, I noticed it, but I'm not informed or geared to how to talk to that. And I think it kind of messed with me for the simple fact, a certain level for what I want to get into as a career, with me wanting to help people through psychiatry. Let me say my words.
What did you get your degree in?
I got my bachelor's in communications, but once I get in and do some time for the Navy, I plan on finding one of these medical schools that are top ranked for psychology and go ahead and become a clinician.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and I feel like God is playing games with me because I keep running into crazy women.
No.
No.
You playing games with yourself because you're choosing these crazy women. You're approaching them, right? Or are they coming to you?
I feel like there's a meter. The hotter the woman, the crazier she is. Sometimes I'm approached. Other times it's like, because this one, who I'm dealing with now, I ended up just peeping her live because I saw she was cooking. Because quite honestly, I finally got into cooking shows and things of that nature.
Oh, okay. I got this one cooking show I need to tell you about, or this food show.
And then she just started talking to me directly, even though there was other people in the live. I just was typing stuff, and she was actually going back, scrolling, and talking to me. The next thing you know, it went from DM conversations, then numbers were exchanged, and then we just started going on dates. But the funny thing about it is, I keep saying this, but I know I'm not wrong. Maybe I've been spoiled with the type of women that I deal with, because there's no questioning on if they're into me, if I'm their type, any of these things. And it's not necessarily a sex thing. It's more of a intimate touch. Like, the way I know someone likes me, there's a whole lot of not even clinginess. It's just like you're trying to get involved in what I'm doing.
You know
You're trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, I like this person. I'm gonna try to make sure I'm in their presence as much as possible, to where it's not too much and all that other good stuff.
Okay, but I will say this: you peep that because Leos like affection and touch. Okay, that's y'all shit. So she might just be a sign. She might be a different sign. That's not how she shows it.
She's a Cancer, if that's what she
Oh
wants.
Lordy, she emotional. She ain't gonna handle you, and that's not the type of woman you need to marry. Give me 1 second, cause I need somebody who can entertain them motherfuckers.
Quite honest with you, she, I don't know. This cherry Pepsi is fucking awful, but I'm gonna finish it because I bought it.
So let's fast forward to this girl. This girl from last night was a different girl.
Absolutely, she was different.
Okay, so
She
what the hell went on now?
Remember when I told you the story of the young lady who I was a main dude and then I ended up being the side dude and I had to cut that off?
Yes.
Her.
Why would you?
Because
See, this what I'm telling him. It be his fault, right?
this is my fault.
It's his
I'm not
fault,
running away
okay.
from that. Long story short, I'm trying to sum it up in the
Yeah, because they're not gonna. If you tell them the end result of how you woke up, they're gonna be like, "How did you wake up like that?"
getting shotgunning a whole 32-ounce daiquiri because she ended up buying like 2 of them, and the only thing I can think to myself is, I've already had my nightcap for the night. You've already called me mysteriously like 3 times a day, and on the 3rd time I was like, this isn't a butt dial. This seems like bullshit. So I called her back and I was like,
Seems like bullshit, smell like bullshit, must be bullshit.
so after the 3rd time, I'm like, all right, fuck it. Call her back. I'm like, hey, are you calling me by accident or is this like on purpose? Wasn't calling me by accident. Basically had been drinking from like 4 p.m. all the way up until I saw her basically crying her eyes out, a bunch of other shit.
What was she crying? What was she sad?
Quite honestly, looking from the outside in at the things that she was telling me, being immature with money, because her significant other is in Africa right now, helping her pay rent, things of this nature.
We'll start right there. If her significant other is in Africa, her significant other,
Not long distance dating, like he went there for work.
and she cheating on him with you, why would she be a good fit for you? Why would you entertain this?
That's not a fit for me, and quite honestly, I didn't entertain it.
You entertained it.
I may have entertained it, but I was so drunk, I was probably on fucking autopilot. And I don't know. A lot of women have been saying it lately. You seem like you're glowing. You just look really fucking good. Have you been working out? It's just all this shit just stroking my ego, and it's like,
When you stroke a Leo's ego now.
and I was like, oh, thank you. All this other good stuff. Like when we first started talking, I was distance, basically like, okay, tell me what's going on with you. And then somehow, some way, it just got to here, and then I woke up
And then the lids.
Yeah. And quite honestly, I was basically on autopilot. I wouldn't even say blackout drunk. I was so tired and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep and just went through the motions of everything. Glad there was a condom involved, all the other good stuff. It's just one of those things where it's like,
I'm glad there was a condom involved.
Absolutely.
You don't need to get any young lady pregnant.
Nope, not at all.
You don't need kids right now.
No, I don't. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, women from my past still want me, but with me trying to move forward, I keep either picking the wrong one or attracting the wrong one, which is why I decided to just go ahead and stop dating all 2023.
Okay.
And if it goes further than that, hallelujah.
So I don't feel like you should stop dating. I feel like we should do the show we planned.
How many people is too many people to be juggling?
Oh no, not this show. Oh, well, I'm gonna set you up with all these women. I'm gonna play matchmaker.
Speed dating, matchmaker?
Oh, we could set up a speed dating, but like more of a matchmaker show. Like I'm seeing it being a couple seasons. You know, I want a reality show. So I'm seeing it being a couple seasons. So I find you a date, and my baby daddy wants me to set him up on dates too.
Goodness.
So now I pretty much got a whole like little low key bachelor type show. I just need the girls. If any women listening, y'all want to be on my show, let me know. Those are my ideas now.
You gotta copyright it. You gotta put a name to it. Honestly, there's so many matchmaking shows out there,
But no, I think it would be fun. Really setting both of y'all up, or doing a speed dating. I mean, I could find some more guys, and
you know more women than I do. So quite honestly,
I don't know about that. You might know more women than me. But I know a lot.
Trust me, if I would have found someone who doesn't like represent me bad or is already growing their own reputation, I would be with them right now.
What's your type?
What's my type outside of looks?
Yeah, okay, outside of looks, and then looks. Well, looks light skin with big titties. We know that.
Oh, that's my number one preference.
But outside of looks,
I've been very much described as a sapiosexual, so I would like somebody who I can have intelligent conversation with. I'm not really a TV watcher, so if that's where a majority of your conversations lead to, like if you watch a lot of reality TV, your social media tends to be the thing that you go for, I'm gonna be looking at you a lot like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay.
Okay, so I gotta stop you right there too. I feel like you're picking women that you're describing, but you're picking those types of women.
And it's sad, isn't it?
Okay, so we're talking about things you don't want, and yet that's what you're attracting. So what else?
Yeah, I might as well be, because it's like speaking about them just perks their ears up. I'm like, you talking about me? But no, I run into intelligent chicks. It's just the other young lady that I'm dealing with, who is nothing like the one who I'm texting at the moment, because she basically just texts me good night because she just got home from the gym or whatever. I would consider her being in the running, but I have this hard line in the sand of I'm not attaching myself seriously to a feminist. Because I'm not about to sit here and argue gender roles and everything else.
Yeah, you don't need to be with the feminist. I gotta
Damn. Because I've seen too many healthy examples of marriage, and to hear, oh, you just want to own. Why the fuck do I want to own you? I'm trying to build a family with you. What the fuck does this even mean? If I want to own you, I'll own an egg and just cut you completely out of the picture by making you a surrogate. That's not what's going on here. It's just a lot of sticky talking points, and I don't want to have to constantly. I don't want to have to teach a person about what a man actually is and not what they perceive a man to be.
You need a grown woman.
There you go.
I mean, they're grown by society, but you need.
I need a grown woman who's not into thugs.
Why do all these women want toxicity? Like, we need to stop that. Like, I'm sick and tired of it.
Because generations,
I do not want a toxic relationship.
Decades of reality TV showing that the most exciting or fulfilling relationships are constantly filled with drama. No, they're not. There's days of boredom. There's days of where motherfuckers are going like this. And quite honestly, seeing as how I'm usually like this the majority of the time, I'm not a circus monkey. I'm not a court jester.
Ooh.
And the whole attitude of I am a queen, serve me. Fuck out of here.
Are you giving a woman the princess treatment?
Fuck no. You need to earn that from me. And a lot of times, if women want the princess treatment, it's easy to pull it out of a guy. It's just, why the fuck are you demanding it? What have you shown me? What where you so-called deserve?
So what else do you look for in a woman?
Someone I have a conversation with, someone who I can fucking relate to. I already know in the beginning I'm gonna be dealing with a headache when it comes to politics, because for the simple fact I went from being hard leaning left to just center, and then center leaning right, and not even going all the way.
Okay, look, I am not political, so teach me something.
Teach you
I
something.
need to take this lash off.
A lot of women are left leaning because of the government should be taking care of us, and a lot of men are right leaning because more of the I can take care of my goddamn self.
I'm a woman.
What does that even mean?
What's that mean? You're a woman. I'm a woman too.
I'm a guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm a guy. I don't understand the comment, but okay. Someone who actually enjoys cooking and doesn't. I don't want anyone who looks at the position of being a wife as either being synonymous with being a slave, not having your own freedom, just outright just demonizing something that's actually.
But what's wrong with, like, I want to be a wife. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with cooking and taking care of your household and...
Ask the women who have a vehement disbelief in actually being that way, because quite honestly, I don't.
So what are these women doing?
You talking about the women that I'm doing?
Well, hypothetical woman.
Quite honestly, probably just sitting in an echo chamber and just listening to a bunch of burnt out, bummy bitches. Yeah, that's the way I could describe it, for the simple fact it's like, it's not our fault that you chose a guy who, quite honestly, didn't give you any signs or actionable things, and not just words, because quite honestly, just stealing a quote from a popular YouTuber, men lie for the same reason women wear makeup.
Why is that?
Men fall in love with their eyes and women fall in love with their ears.
Men lie. Oh. But, okay, look here. Let me tell you something. I don't know if I'm just different than other women, but a guy ain't got to lie to me. I can handle stuff. I'm not about to... Some women trip on the stupidest things, and like being in this industry, I see why a lot of these guys have to lie to their woman, but that's one thing I can say.
You want to know what is a nice thread to pull to expose the problem?
What?
A lot of women want commitment for a man before even giving him anything to commit to. Because I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos of different ethnicities of women of different ages basically saying, oh, guys who I don't see as relationship worthy, I'll go ahead and give them the cookie. But guys who are worth a relationship, I'll make him wait. Totally ass backwards. And the reason I say it's totally ass backwards is like, for the guy who you actually want to be with, why aren't you fucking him? For the guys you don't want to be with, you'll actually create a tie with and get emotionally attached to. Because I think it's actually, I'm not even going to say disgusting. I'm just going to say it's destructive for men and women to simply be going around fucking without any actual attachment to a person. You're doing a whole lot more with your body than just swapping fluid.
So, okay, outside of work, because if I decided to do porn, then that's different. You don't get the same.
One is a job that you can enjoy, and the other is an actual attachment.
So outside of that, I decided, like, okay, even though I do not be fucking, we want to be fucking, but okay, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. I only want to fuck, like, have sex with, like,
someone you care about.
someone I care about, not just random men.
And this is quite understandable. I wish a lot more women thought like that, but hey.
Like, I am mad, y'all. I did not get to go through a whole phase. I've never had that experience. I recommend everyone try it. Just be safe out there, please. But as much as I like the idea of having like this whole phase and just dating and casually having sex or meeting somebody and seeing somebody cute and just fucking them, I can't. I really just can't. Because one, let's face it, I'm probably not gonna have an orgasm. Two, I don't want to just be giving my body up. Like this right here, this is something special. And I don't want to, work is different. Work is work, so it's just work. You know, it's not like that same intimate bond. But to have that, just doing it casually and just fucking, I just don't want to do that. I just want to fuck one person.
That is commendable. I wish more women thought like that.
But it'd be hard because I be wanting to be like, dang, I want to go do this, do that, do that. But then I'm like, I can't. I can't. My mind won't let me. I think I am a true sapiosexual, so I have to be mentally stimulated before I just go fuck anything. And to be mentally stimulated means you already have to be like close to me. So I don't want to fuck strangers. These guys, they've been trying to talk to me lately, and I just don't want to talk to them. Like random guys at the stores. I'm debating if I should just keep saying I'm in a relationship.
Quite honest with you.
I don't want this random.
You gotta blame some women for basically being in relationships but still giving guys a chance to hit it.
You mean cheating on their partner?
Absolutely, and then there's dudes out there who obviously are on the receiving end of just cookie wherever they go. So it's like, it needs to be one of those things where I'm trying to think of the proper way to say this. Relationships need to be taught that this is a commitment. Dating is a new concept because it used to be, hey, you're under your father's protection. The only way you're coming from under your father's protection is if you're getting married or if you're just basically going to a fucking nunnery. Now that it's not that way anymore, a lot of young women are just proud to go run off in the bushes and lose their V card to a boy that they thought was cute and all this other good stuff. It's, and I know it sounds like I'm just going after women. No, a lot of guys aren't taught the power of the peen and just withholding and having, and like actually having sexual discipline, because as much as there's a lot of beautiful women out there, you can't just be out here trying to have all of them. That's an interesting take because I have no interest in being a wife.
Oh, why don't you have any interest in being a wife?
Because some women see it as taking care of another kid, and quite honestly, that's how a lot of women ruin their relationships.
I don't see it that way at all. I feel like, I don't know.
First off, on my Instagram story, the dude who was basically saying a lot of women ruin their relationships because they're trying to mother their spouses or trying to mother their husbands.
I ain't trying to build a man. I need a man already built. I'm not trying to be your mama. Like, ain't nobody taking your mama's spot. Like, that's not me. I'm trying to be a wife, your partner, your special life person.
Like, I hate it whenever I hear the sentence either come out of a woman's mouth or a man's mouth. She let him lead. What the fuck do you let him lead? If you chose him to be the man of the relationship, he should.
How do you do this?
Just tap. Just tap.
This shit irritated me.
Just tap.
Oh, man.
If he's a man in a relationship, he should already have leadership skills. And then on top of that, if you're choosing him to be the man, he should already have his shit together. I don't think there's anything wrong with a guy. Okay, the notion goes like this. Have a life before you get a wife. Have a house before you get a spouse. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, if you have a house and a life, you more than likely have your ducks in the fucking row. So just adding a woman on shouldn't be a fucking burden. A lot of times, and I know this doesn't apply to all women, but let's be real. A lot of women out there these days aren't an asset. They're a fucking liability. The fact that whenever I see a lot of chicks like saying, ooh, when I have this amount of money, I'm going to have a maid, this, that, or whatever. Why? Why don't you enjoy taking care of yourself? Because I know.
Okay, that's a tough one. Now I'm gonna say this.
Now, if you're working a demanding career field, which you're going to get tired of after a while, I totally understand.
Okay.
Housekeeper, all right.
Okay.
But for those out there who are just fucking lazy, you're disqualifying yourselves to being marriageable. And I get it. There's dudes out there who will gladly pay for those fucking notions. But at the same time, it's not too far-fetched to say, hey, your husband's going to leave you for the housekeeper. Why? Because the housekeeper actually is grateful to him and actually enjoys taking care of this big-ass house while you're complaining about anything you can find a way to complain about.
Okay, hold on. All right, I'm gonna head to Chatterbait. I'll catch you later. Love you, Paisley. What was I gonna say? You had a point and I lost my train of thought. Pretty much, I guess what I'm trying to say is people do need to be ready before they get in a relationship. Like, they have to be...
It's not going to be happy fucking rainbows and sunshine all the time. There's going to be times where it's like, damn, that person is sad. As much as I don't know what to fucking do, I'm going to try to help. Because the worst thing I could probably deal with is a woman with a fucking temper and antisocial fucking tendencies. Why? I don't know what it is, but in my life experience, when I see women get angry, they don't know how to fucking handle the shit. They'll just fly off the handle. And seeing as how we live in a world and a fucking Western society where women don't even get a whole, I don't know, women get slaps on the wrist whenever they act up. Like, I want to say, the most recent thing in the news. There was a lady in New Orleans who basically lost custody of her children. Didn't even really get to the details of the case because she ended up trying to kill both of her kids. And the words that came out of her mouth that had the audacity to say it was, it's all Jermaine's fault, aka the baby daddy who was about to get custody of both children. And unfortunately, he lost his daughter, but his son, I think, is still fighting for his life. So it's like, damn.
She killed the daughter?
She tried to kill both her kids.
But she actually killed the daughter?
Yeah.
And she trying to blame her baby daddy?
Yeah. And he basically got off work and rushed to go save the kids. It's like one of those things where it's like, wow, so you were fucking up as a parent. And
did she get punishment?
Oh, yeah, of course. And I feel like this is one of the few times where a woman is actually punished for her shit, because it's like, with family court and everything else, yes, it highly favors women, but when they start favoring the dad, that means there is some extreme circumstances in which you as a mother are fucking up to where they're like, yeah, you're a complete danger to your own offspring. But yeah, that's just one example, and there's more, but I forget the name of the genetic condition, but a guy had basically gone to the doctor and basically found out he was sterile. This is how he found out that his wife was cheating on him and both of his sons weren't his. He had gone his whole life without knowing he was sterile until he got diagnosed with something. And it said it basically broke my heart to pieces right then and there. And I was like, yeah, it'd break my fucking heart too to know 2 boys that I had basically raised as my own weren't my own. Come to find out it was neighbors' kids. Yeah, those stories happen one too many times. And there was a recent video of a guy who basically told his neighbor on his Nest camera, he covered up his face and everything. He's like, hey bro, I'm your neighbor. My Wi-Fi code is 17. No, my Wi-Fi name is 1744. Your wife is cheating on you. I don't know how you haven't noticed this yet, but he's like, every day, Nissan parks 3 houses down.
I seen this somewhere. Where I saw this at?
It's gone viral, so I'm pretty sure you saw it somewhere. But he said Nissan parks 3 houses down, walks up the sidewalk, goes down the side of your house, and goes through the back door. I don't know how you haven't noticed this. Maybe you don't have cameras in the back of your house. He's like, your wife is smart, but she's a cheater. He's like, I'm gonna go walk this way. I don't live this way, but I just came over here to let you know that. And I'm seeing as how the video has been uploaded, I'm pretty sure the guy now knows and is probably, hopefully, not being stupid and just being like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this divorce. And quite honestly, with the overabundance of unfaithfulness in the world, for guys who want to get married, I think that's like the bare minimum they ask for. Don't give the pussy to anybody else.
But what about them giving the dick up?
Quite honestly, if you're looking for a monogamous relationship and you can't be monogamous, I don't think you need to pursue that.
But why do guys still do it?
And then when you say that, are you saying like, okay, I could probably give you 3 reasons for dudes who basically are like, fuck it, I'm gonna go find someone else. You have women who basically cause sexless marriages, the whole dead bedroom thing going on.
Oh yeah, you got it. I feel like that gotta be some requirements. That got to be requirements because
you have women who give up on giving out sex the moment they have X amount of kids.
Let's talk about the men holding the dick bag.
I don't know any stories like that, so you're gonna have to educate me on that shit.
Let's talk about mine. Why? My past relationship, we haven't had sex since when I went to Colorado?
Vaguely.
Back in either early August or July. So like shortly after that. So let's just say August.
This year?
So.
Oh wow, okay.
August, September, October, November. 4 months. If I would have cheated,
I couldn't do it.
if I would have cheated on him,
Knowing I'm in a committed relationship and we haven't touched each other in 4 months, after the first week, I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? That would have been me after the first week.
but we are, okay, so let's scratch that then. So 4 months, it wasn't happening. Prior to the 4 months, it really wasn't even happening every single week. So, okay, so let's just say, let's take it the past 2 years, maybe once a month. I feel sorry for you, girl. I'm so sorry, girl. I'm so sorry. I'm neglecting you.
If I was in that boat and it was the other way around, I would have definitely been like, excuse me, ma'am, what the fuck is going on? Because if I need to go elsewhere, I'm gonna just let you know right now. I'm not gonna straight up just do it behind your back. I'm gonna let you know. No, I'm about to go fuck something because you don't feel like fucking me for whatever reason. This, that, or whatever. No, don't do that. Then I'm gonna need you to open up your fucking mouth and tell me something.
On occasion, he would say he's just not into that to go fuck somebody, find somebody.
Lord have mercy.
Quite frankly, I'm just not a cheater.
I'm glad you aren't.
And
Loyalty
so-
is hard to find these days, and people take it for fucking granted.
And then I feel like everybody does need to establish cheating because, like, for instance, I have this one friend that comes out here, and every time he comes out here, I go see him. But I told his ass, I'm going to see shum. And
It's just one of those things.
I don't know what he assumed, but every time my friend flew down here, I was like, hey, I'm going to hang out with him. Because you're not stopping me from hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, and he could have thought several things in his mind, considering that's the person I did porn with.
Well,
So he could have thought every single time I'm out here But you know what else is funny? What he always said? Like, if y'all were to do it again, it wouldn't be weird to me. Something like we did it off camera, like you wouldn't give a fuck. What does that say? Like, why didn't he want to fuck me? I got to pee so bad, but I don't know what to do.
I'm surprised that you asked Keys.
Let me see if I can. Let me just.
Splatter everywhere.
Well, I would just squat in here, but there's no. Maybe she was asking to come over there and put this thing back because she just left. But I don't know. But let me see, because oh my god. So, do you think our house keys would work for that?
I would say try.
Okay, let me see my keys. Oh, I can't hold it. So we can exit live and come back or something. And I'm surprised there's not more people on here because typically I got like 3 or 4 people. No, it's not. No, it's not a general type key deal. I wonder where else we could go live at because I don't like walking back by myself. I'm just gonna exit off this.